My dad was a civil engineer. I wanted to be a civil engineer. When he was working for the highway department, every year they had a highway conference here at VMI. So he would come up every fall for 2 or 3 days. So he knew pretty much all of the professors in the civil engineering department. And my dad did not drive me to come to VMI. He never said to me, "This is where I want you to go to school." And once I decided on my own I was going to come to VMI, he then said to me, "The biggest mistake I ever made in my life was not figuring out a way to get to VMI because of his engineering and all he had to go through." And he had so much admiration for VMI and all the people he knew from VMI. He was so happy. It's quite challenging to balance civil engineering, where I was taking anywhere from 18 to 21 hours most of the time. I had drafting and all kinds of civil engineering courses that required outside weekend kind of work. So I didn't come up for air very often, and I'd say that it's very easy to get discouraged when you've got so much on your plate and you're wanting to do it all well. But when it came down to it, I really enjoyed the military aspect of the school. When I left VMI, I took a job at that paper mill in Franklin as a mill engineer. And I worked for about 8 months while I was waiting to go into the military. I went into the Army Corps of Engineers in February of 1969. And I served in the Army for 2 years, including a year in Vietnam. When I came back, I stayed in a reserve unit for another 4 years. Went back to my engineering job at the paper mill, and then in the following fall, I went to University of Virginia and got an MBA there. And I ended up going to work for IBM, not in civil engineering, though I used a lot of what I learned in engineering, but I ended up having a nice career at IBM in marketing and sales. During my career at IBM, there were often times that I would think of VMI, especially when you're in a management position and you've got 10 or 12 salespeople working for you. Learning how to work with people, learning how to get the most out of people, just like being a platoon leader at VMI or a company commander here at VMI. You learn how to work within the system and maximize the talent that you have. I have really focused my contributions on VMI. When a young man, young woman graduates from VMI, they have got a foundation like no other. You see it when you get out into the working world, how much more you possess as a VMI graduate than the person on your left or the person on your right. And I hope we will be able to do that forever.